Welcome everybody to KeyMedia Solutions, where we're diving deep into the pivotal changes that will shape digital marketing in 2024. I'm Hannah. I'm the Analytics and Digital Team Manager here at KeyMedia Solutions. And today we're just going to unravel the maze of what is 2024. We'll save time for a quick Q&A at the end of the presentation. But for now, we're going to start by understanding how 2023 laid the groundwork for this year's trends. So, in case you missed it, email marketing underwent a significant transformation with the enforcement of the CAN-SPAM Act. Google Ads implemented new ad transparency measures, updated policies. Nate's booing because he was affected by this. Policy updates like malicious or unwanted software policy, which affected a lot of people with their privacy regulations. They also introduced the advertiser verification program. Surprised I'm not getting more boos from Billy over there, but big boo for Google Ads on the verification program. We appreciate the transparency, but it's made our lives as advertisers a lot more difficult. And then additionally, Google Ads also revised some gambling advertising policies in 2023. Since it was launched in 2016, TikTok has quickly moved its way to the third largest social network in the United States. Some say fourth if you count YouTube, third and fourth. But with that, YouTube is still beating TikTok just slightly. In 2023, TikTok launched the TikTok Shop, which sparked a tremendous surge in the retail arena. Google Analytics underwent a major transformation with the forced migration to GA4. And it also led to the discontinuation of universal analytics processing data. We additionally saw a big trend in AI-powered chatbots. They've revolutionized the conversational marketing space. Last thing we're going to mention worth noting in 2023. If my clicker would decide to work today.
Is it on?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Back. Am I still sharing the correct screen?
Yeah, there's a red box for it. I can see it.
Yeah. Scroll down on my screen here. And then lastly was the traditional TV viewership dwindled while CTV experienced another significant increase in viewership from the previous year. It's just going on its own. I think this remote has a mind of its own, so I'm not going to miss it. So buzzword warning for the day is AI. We basically can't talk about the next year without mentioning AI. It's going to have a huge impact in each facet of digital marketing. So today we'll understand how it's affecting each aspect of digital marketing. And then at the end, we'll wrap it and examine how it's shaping the entirety of digital marketing this year. So 2024 marks the end of an era for old school data collection methods. First party data is stepping up to take the crown as king. As browsers ramp up restrictions on third-party data, cookies, and privacy rules, they're gaining stricter enforcement. The spotlight shifts to first-party data. Discreetly collecting and using data is now a thing of the past. Marketers are diving into data storage solutions. They're blending their first-party data with aggregated insights while still keeping the privacy regulations intact. So there is still solutions around the third-party cookies crumbling, but it is becoming a lot more challengeable and less accessible to marketers. So are you playing the first-party data game now? If not, you better start. You can do that by gathering email signups, newsletters, mailing lists, anything to help aim your ads toward real customers. And then you can identify similar customers based off of your first-party data and machine learning. And remember to always try to keep your data sparkly clean and accessible. But again, that is a big challenge for marketers, is combining all your data across all your channels and identifying who truly are your customers. Programmatic advertising, as I mentioned in the 2023 recap, is on the rise. Programmatic advertising, by definition, is the automated process of purchasing and selling online ads through technology and data. This method involves utilizing various channels such as podcasts, digital billboards, PTV, audio, streaming, and display ads. You'll see on the left your traditional advertising and your digital advertising, but programmatic is a little bit of a blend of digital advertising across these landscapes. There are many different ways in selling programmatic advertising between private deals and the open internet. And by definition, the open internet is the wide digital space with ads available on many sites, not just one platform. So in layman terms, it's like an open marketplace for ads, letting advertisers reach people across different websites and apps. It's not just like Google where you're just reaching them on the Google network. It's many, many different websites and apps. 76% of digital media consumption is spent on the open internet. You've got streaming music seems to take up the big chunk of 21%, followed by CTV at 20%, online press 10%, gaming at 15%, and podcasts at 10%. In case you guys couldn't read that back there. So consumers are rapidly moving away from traditional TV and towards subscription-based and free ad-supported streaming services. It's caused a decline in linear viewership, and the influx of CTV ad inventory is just beginning. Each platform is adding more and more inventory each year, and more consumers are opting for ad-supported streaming services because they are the more affordable option. It's kind of a win-win for advertisers. We get more inventory, they see more ads. I don't know if it's necessarily a win for them, but they're still saving money by seeing more ads. So with that, the inventory is just expanding each year. Programmatic is reshaping how brands can reach audiences. It uses technology to automate their ad buying, in real time and precise targeting. And it results in you allowing to deliver personalized content to your consumer for much more enhanced value. Major retailers like Target, Kroger, Walmart, and Amazon are diving into retail media, capitalizing on first-party data for revenue diversification. Commerce marketing will take the stage across social platforms and CTV. Shoppable TV will hit the mainstream in 2024. And we're already seeing a few peaks of some shoppable CTV ads. We're predicting that they will start pulling in first-party data and targeting you right on your CTV with shopping ads. It'll be a very interesting landscape. And while we preach more data privacy, I think it'll start to feel more creepy for the consumer, I would think. But it is all still compliant with privacy. Another large trend we'll see in programmatic, and this continues to be a demand each year. It's only getting more prominent in 2024, and that is being able to measure your ROI on programmatic ads. It kind of goes back, the way that CTV ads can be difficult is that impressions don't always lead to a call to action when they're seeing a video ad. So measuring where that person first saw your video ad is a little difficult to point exactly where it goes back to. But the beauty of programmatic is that it's a cross-channel marketing. So even though your analytics might say this purchase came from Facebook, they might have seen you on a programmatic ad first, and then looked up your Facebook page. So there's many different ways, and measuring the ROI continues to be a challenge, but we're only going to see more demand for that. Social media trends. This was a fun one because there was a lot. I really had to skim this one down for you guys today. But obviously in 2023, Threads was launched and it quickly emerged. It was, I don't know about you, but that was all we heard about for the first month maybe when Threads was launched. And it has quickly emerged as a rival to X, which is formerly Twitter. It centers on fostering engaging conversations that were reminiscent of the early Twitter days. And brands see Threads as a platform where meaningful discussions hold more weight than just visually appealing. They want to talk to you. They want to be able to reach you and have you respond to them. And it's strongly recommended to start considering Threads in your strategy, especially if you are currently implementing X. It may be time to consider that transition. And the reason I bring that up is because there has been a growing dissatisfaction with X. It's facing increasing issues due to inadequate moderation, rising advertiser fees, insufficient support, and bot-related problems. It's honestly kind of a hot mess of a platform, and advertisers don't trust it anymore. They want off. Do you have something bad, Billy? But this has led to people moving away and considering Threads as a better alternative because it is a place where you can conversate, and it's not junked up with all that clutter. Also announced in 2023 by Meta was the metaverse. It's something very, very exciting and revolutionary. It provides an immersive virtual reality and augmented reality experience for product trials. So I think we've already seen Nike trying it out, a few larger brands where you can actually try on the products in an augmented reality uh, goggles. Why is the word failing me?
VR.
Yeah, headset. But um, another big trend coming in 2023 is influencer marketing 2.0. And the reason I say 2.0 is because it is truly changing. If you currently use any type of influencer marketing, you should consider shifting toward a strategy that is based on more micro and nano influencers, where they're following values, what they have to say, more than someone with, let's say, 500,000 followers. Um, they're following, trust them, they have more authority amongst their friends, and they can truly spread your brand by word of mouth and user generated content. Another exciting one that I was excited to chat about today was LinkedIn. Since COVID, it's witnessed a substantial increase in engagement. It's no longer just a platform for professional updates. It's expanded to lifestyle, family updates, life lessons, and general posts. This shift persists significant opportunity for diverse engagement beyond traditional. We recommend trying out a few of the new features, such as newsletter articles, to signify your audience engagement. Um, we also encourage your employees to start optimizing their profiles, encouraging active participation on your LinkedIn posts, and offering more resources or training. They can be very impactful in any recruiting efforts as well. And with that, in 2023, LinkedIn will be rolling out new AI tools for marketing, sales, and job hunting. Uh, they'll introduce brand partnership search, which allows people to search for posts by LinkedIn creators. So you can be linked to a company as a creator, allowing you to have brand partnership deals, or provide more thought leadership within your company. These are all new features that we recommend you very much check out in 2024. There's a lot of exciting stuff that LinkedIn has really been rolling in the last few years with. So in 2023, platforms like TikTok explored longer video formats to captivate audiences for more extended periods of time. There was notable interest among the Gen Z generation, but brands like Hilton experimented with 10-minute videos. This is Paris, from Paris Hilton, and this was their Hilton 10-minute ad. They tested this out, but we did find, as we look to 2024, short form video still wins all. 10-minute video is great for dispersing longer information, for conversations and storytelling. But at the end of the day, short form is still the most engaging. We still see the most conversions come from it, and your people are still seeing your message for the most part. Whereas a 10-minute video, that likelihood of them seeing the full message you want to portray does drop off. And the last, but probably largest shift that we'll see overall in social media is the focus on attention to retention. A significant shift is on the horizon as people move away from just engaging with posts. It's becoming more difficult to get people to come back once they've engaged once. So retaining that user attention is going to be huge in 2024, especially as more things become more accessible. You can find new brands pretty much every day. Retaining user attention on social media is huge. Keeping them engaged and responding to your brand. Platforms are rolling out with new retention rate centric metrics, and that will, to us, that's a pretty big predictor that those will be high indicators and algorithms, is being able to retain engagement, not just have one post go viral. Are you consistently getting engagement from your followers? And of course, I said I would mention AI. So AI has been revolutionary for social media, especially in this past year. We've seen lots of platforms come out, and we anticipate many more social media platforms to come out using AI powered tools, social media management platforms, excuse me, to help you manage your content, generate new content, ideas. We're even seeing some that will take an image and resize it for you in different various sizes that you would need between Instagram or Facebook. And it's really making the marketer's job much more efficient, where we can spend time on things that matter a little bit more than writing a caption and spending way too long than you needed to write a caption. I know we've all been there. But these are, like I said, there were many things rolling out in 2024. And I wish we could cover them all today, but unfortunately, social media is just a small chunk of it. There will be a lot more platform updates, and maybe even a new platform like Be Real could jump up in 2024. We just don't know. We can't anticipate that till it's here, but we do, of course, always recommend to give it a try if something pops up. If it's in line with your business and how your customers would like to communicate with you, definitely give it a shot. SEO, a new era of SEO. So Google's updates will pave the path for 2024's SEO landscape. Once again, they're going to be making lots of major updates. The 2023 helpful content update that happened at the end of this year will set the tone for 2024 by emphasizing more valuable content on your website that offers a satisfying user experience. Google also announced the search generative experience, which is an AI-powered assistant within Google search results. It will display within the search results, just maybe somebody's seen a beta version of it, but I believe it's actually in a different color, even a little green response that will be below the search results. And it compiles information from reliable sources, and it will kind of just be left up to how your website, what information you have on your website, will it answer that question or not? So they'll pull the most reliable source to answer that query using AI. So both of these Google updates underline the critical importance of preparedness for SEO in 2024 to better enhance the trust signals with these Google updates. Trust and authority is huge with Google. So if you're not adhering to some of these updates and some of their what they consider quality content, you could be definitely falling short for SEO in 2024. Some things we recommend to battle some of these changes coming up would be quality content creation, which would be prioritizing engaging content on your website that's valuable to your audience. And you're standing out from AI generated material. You're not just using ChatGPT to write your web page. We've found that the most you can give it, the best it'll give you back. Not just trying to come up with some generic copyright from ChatGPT. It's a trick to try to not write too much like them once you've been in that space, but definitely still keeping that unique tone. Another big aspect will be understanding user intent and crafting content that directly addresses their query. So like I mentioned, with the AI generative content, you will get a result. So one of the important things you can do on your website is provide answers. You can tell it in the most layman terms. Try not to get too hung up on jargon, sales terms, anything like that. Give it straight facts. This will be quality content and it's user intent focused with the user in mind. They don't want to read through marketing jumbo. They just want the answer. Another strategy we would recommend utilizing is to utilize long tail keywords, as they will align well with voice search and other opportunities in your competitive niche industry. Having long tail keywords and being able to answer those queries, especially if you're within the niche industry, will put you way ahead from your competitors. If you're able to provide that information on your website, you're going to get way more visits than your competitor. This one will always be talked about, but enhanced user experience is only going to be more prominent in 2024. Improving your page speed, mobile friendliness, your navigation for better user engagement, and that conversions are tracking on your website. One thing you might hear is a fun little acronym, EAT, EEAT, experience, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. They're crucial aspects for page quality. And then one last aspect you can do is thorough topic coverage throughout your website. Be the expert. If you have a niche industry, be the expert online for that topic. You will only become more authoritative in the Google results, and they will see you as a good, reliable resource to search queries. One other thing that don't think got added on here, but worth mentioning, is that you can do as you prepare for 2024 in SEO is to focus on video content and high quality imagery. As Google prominently features these in the search carousel results, you can rank really easily if you start optimizing video and images on your website. And as generative AI becomes more prominent, those images might as well. They might start pulling more of those images in, and that can help with your ranking. So while the search generative experience is helpful, some of the changes are a little out of our control. So make sure that you're just focusing on the user experience and always generating quality content on your website. And you should be set for 2024. Like I said, just what's happening more is they want more trust, more transparency. People don't want to read marketing jumbo. They just they want to get that instant gratification and get their Google results. And then, so you might have heard me mention earlier is voice search optimization. While this may sound familiar from previous years, they've talked about it, I don't know, the last 8 years, it seems like. It's becoming more and more prominent each year. So if you haven't adopted a strategy for voice search yet, we strongly recommend you start prioritizing one. That would be long tail keywords, conversational phrases, and structured data on your website. These are things that you can do to optimize your website for voice search. And the reason I say it will only become more prominent is because we are seeing a continuous increase of voice activated devices in the households. That trend, I just don't foresee going away. So AI tools like ChatGPT and Claude boost content creation and efficiency. Like I mentioned, writing a caption can be very quick with those tools. But while it saves time, it's still essential to maintain that human touch, like I mentioned, in this changing landscape. Google won't penalize AI generated content, but it prioritizes transparency. So while it won't hurt you, it won't help you having AI generated content. You can use it as a great tool, but using it to generate your website content is not, you're not creating anything unique that's not already out there at that point. With that, we foresee that we anticipate that Google will start requiring a little transparency with AI generated content. They might start having disclosures that this content was generated utilizing AI. All of that would not shock us with Google. So striking the balance between the two is really key in 2024. It can be a crutch, but you definitely can't fully lean into a full AI content strategy. Next up, talking about paid search advertising. So in February 2024, Google will update its personalized ads policy, expanding limitations on personalized ads related to consumer financial products. Specifically, it will cover consumer finance in personalized ads regarding credit, banking, and specific financial planning service. And this is just one small example of the policies that Google can and will throw at us in 2024. That won't be the last announcement in which they're updating their policy and they're restricting targeting. So with this effect, us as advertisers will no longer be able to target based on gender, age, parental status, marital status, or zip code in the financial advertising industry on Google Ads. So restrictions like this do pop up, and the unfortunate thing is sometimes it takes away abilities, but you do have to adapt. Otherwise, not adhering to them, unfortunately, Google will shut you down. So something new coming to Google Ads this year is the addition of AI. There's apprehension about losing control when it comes to using AI in Google Ads. I know that a lot of marketers have kept a close eye on some of their beta testing anytime they are using AI in their Google ads. A few decisions that we've noticed that can happen when you just let AI do the work. Your cost per click can increase dramatically because suddenly you no longer have a cap on what you're willing to spend for a click. So, but the AI machine, they don't care, they'll spend it. And it's an unfortunate thing because we see the potential in the AI. However, the story is we really have to keep it honed in, and in Google Ads, it's just not quite there for us. So if you're considering AI in any Google Ads next year, stay wary of what can happen to your budgets, your cost per clicks, as well as keywords being added, the phrases being added, things like that. So Microsoft Ads is an interesting one to chat about. Some people love it, some people roll their eyes at it. It kind of depends on the industry you're in. Some industries see great success in it because their consumers most likely using Bing. But one of the exciting things that we'll see in Google Ads this year is they're going to start rolling out some more automated features, like similar to Google Ads, like maximize conversions, a target CPA, and expansions that will better align with where this landscape is headed. They've been a little bit behind in terms of PPC ads. And they're also expanding into more programmatic ads as well, leveraging AI for that ad placement. So it'll be interesting to see how they try to compete with Google Ads in these next few years. Like I said, I think they're a little behind in that space, but they are rolling out more new and exciting things. The Bing chat ads and the Bing chat ads will be rolled out. It's a partnership with OpenAI, and we're anticipating that it will increase Bing's traffic with those AI generated search responses. Again, very similar to Google Ads, but that is their main competitor, so it can kind of be expected that they try to follow suit. With all those changes, Microsoft Ads is expecting a surge in revenue, but we will see. They're also expanding to more retail placements, and they're trying to establish more retailers on Microsoft Ads. So it'll be interesting for Microsoft for sure. All right, so last slide that we'll chat about is the AI one. AI is transforming marketing automating. As we've chatted through the whole presentation, you basically can't talk about 2024 without mentioning AI. But the beauty is marketers and AI, we don't ever see it taking our job. We only see it making our lives easier as marketers. It can make us more efficient so we can truly focus on things. So generative AI is being adapted to generative AI is by optimizing your strategy with technologies reshaping marketing. This would just be being able to use your skills and generate the content you need, and not just giving it the thumbs up and go. This is using your skills to generate that user intent content. because only you are going to know what your customer wants. ChatGPT might have an idea, but they don't really know. You know more than they do. So people have pretty valid concerns about AI. In this current state, there's worries of inefficiency and ethical oversight, AI's limitations in understanding the context and human-centric skills. And there's also a need for platform governance and ethical commitment. So to tackle this, we anticipate that platforms might start labeling AI generated content and enforcing better ethical rules for more transparent and trustworthy information. So if you are or planning to use quite a bit of AI generated content, uh, just keep out for those regulations that might happen in the AI space, uh, because things could change between now and then. So a last few that I don't want to go you to leave without forgetting, that is happening. They're not necessarily trends, but more so this is happening in 2024. Universal analytics is sunsetting. Your data will no longer be accessible as of July 2024. So if you have not stored any of that data, it will disappear. So start considering having a plan for how you plan to store that data, merge it with your current data, um, because while we like to say we don't need to know what happened on the website last year, it is nice to go back and look at year over year seasonality and just how your website has grown over the years as well. Something else that won't go away in 2024, data privacy will remain critical. Being transparent about how your customers' data is utilized. You should be forthcoming and honest about the data usage, and ensure why your customers understand why you're using their data. This will only help you build trust with your customer, but also help you stay in regulation. There's also alternative strategies like tech stack consolidation that will give you the ability to see how your data and your customers. Um, I know there's quite a few tools out there, but as third-party tracking goes away, looking at more ways to track how your users are engaging across all platforms. Conversational marketing, I mentioned in 2023, we saw the chatbots explode. And in 2024, we expect that to remain influential. A few major retailers use chatbots to answer live questions and even provide product recommendations. Um, this is, while it's a benefit for the user, we do know it's more challenging internally. You have to have either someone on staff or willing to answer that question pretty quickly. So it is absolutely a challenge internally. However, we do see the benefit, the customer sees the benefit in that for sure. Another interesting to note in some of the research is that consumers juggle various factors when they're deciding whether or not to purchase your product or service. That could be price, convenience, and ethics. So companies that overlook some of these things might risk losing a competitive edge. Gen Z specifically prioritizes company values, sustainability, and data usage when it comes to online advertising. Um, and a company's environmental impact could sway a purchasing decision of a Gen Z. Interesting to note as we move into 2024, and they're becoming larger in that consumer space. So just to kind of summarize it, navigating the landscape of 2024, we definitely recommend using AI and human collaboration, and embracing first-party data collection strategies for sure. Start collecting that now. If you don't, I can't emphasize that enough. To start collecting your customers' names, emails, zip codes, cities, all of that information can help. Adapting to programmatic advertising trends. We don't see the CTV trend going away. It's only going to continue to increase year over year as more people sign up for streaming services. And until people decide that they're done adding more services, we see that inventory continue to grow each year. And additionally, we recommend exploring these emerging new platforms on social media. I know I can be honest when I say that I shrugged off Threads a little bit when it rolled out, and I was like, it's just another one. But honestly, I can see the hype in it, in the conversational marketing happening there. We're seeing a newer landscape of where people really respond and engage with that platform more. So the last thing I want to mention is just to prioritize your SEO practices, and embrace your conversational marketing as much as possible. The success of 2024 hinges on adaptability to these trends, and a harmonious relationship with AI. It's going to be an interesting year, but all of these platforms have a lot of new exciting things rolling out for us that will not only help us stay compliant, but be efficient throughout the year. With with Google throwing in a few wrenches here and there. So we anticipate it will be an exciting year, and we know that there will be more trends and changes that will come throughout the year. So make sure that you keep watching for our keynotes for what could pop up in that, because we will absolutely address that. Does anyone have any questions?
Do you anticipate some strategies that, given the fact that it's going to go more first party data and combining that with AI strategies to kind of use first party data similar to what third party data was by using AI?
Yes, absolutely. So in programmatic, it's actually referred to as a seed. So you're giving it that seed of information, and then it takes and creates your lookalike and similar audiences based off that. So by giving it your actual best customers, that should be a good seed. Right.
More qualified customers.
Yep. Yep.
So it'll be bucketed out to topics, so that seed data will have it look like audience to say, okay, these people are interested. There's a high concentration of like these three topics, and so then it's gonna build it up. And Google has like, I think, 400 categories that they're working on for their topics, but it's coming out here with the next year and a half year. I think that's what it is. So the first party data is gonna become even more important in general for us.
Well, it's interesting for us because we just started getting the benefits of third party data. I think, I think we discovered some customer types that we didn't really focus on before. So it'll be interesting to see how that plan plays out.
Yeah.
Consider.
Our programmatic platform is rolling out more AI features. And with that, there's going to be what they call the blue list, and it's more premium, a more premium list. And it's supposed to be people who are, lower down in the consideration funnel, things like that. So it's more qualified traffic as well. It's an interesting concept. You pay more,
Right.
of course, but it gives you that option for premium content to get it.
I think that's the optimism I see as far as finding more qualified, because we spend, our sales team spends so much time
Mhm.
waiting and going after customers who at best, if we had them as a customer, are gonna be a pain in the butt because they require more attention.
Mhm.
They essentially cost more as a customer than it's someone who
Right.
it's a kind of level plus hands off.
Mhm.
That's really bad.
Yeah, and tracking down that happy medium of the cost per acquisition is definitely the challenge for that. And yeah, it's different on every platform as well.
Now we're starting to notice with clients that we currently have trying to get some of this data, like the CRM data, the e-commerce data and stuff like that, is that they haven't started collecting it, or they don't have it, they didn't, or they should.
Sure.
And Facebook, for example, it requires up to 1,000 emails to do any type of audience area to it. But that 1,000 emails is not just 1,000 emails in general, that's 1,000 matched emails. So you could have 1,000 emails, and only 300 matched and matched with what's in the system.
Mhm.
And you can't do anything with the system unless you do it. And every platform is the same way. So it's like, just because you have the 1,000 emails or whatever, that doesn't mean that that's good enough. You have to have more than that. And so that's gonna be the biggest, I think we're gonna see a lot, especially good old up in the Midwest, where we have a lot of smaller e-commerce, smaller businesses. You know, you're a little bit different, you have a wider net with your company, but that's the big thing that I'm seeing in my, strategist is. We call it the companies, they hand us a 500 email, and it's like, I can't, like, it's literally a limitation of the platform,
Mhm.
so.
And that's all yeah, unfortunately, sometimes that's all they have.
I know.
That's their curated 10 years of emails, and it makes it
So,
We have
challenging.
32,000 people that's been collected over 40 years.
Yeah.
5% of it might be accurate, but we have, 1,000 emails out of 32,000 customers. And
Yep.
maybe it's, yeah, I mean, I get the idea and everything of it. It's the like physical.
Yeah.
Collecting and cleaning and
Yep.
so it's like, start from scratch.
I don't want it anyway. I didn't need it anyway. Um, but yeah, it is a challenge for sure. That was why I wanted to start out by saying, if you're not doing it, definitely start, because there is businesses that just haven't or can't. But that seed will be huge.
That's a scary, there are like, the campaign still can go, whether it's whatever platform, it just takes longer. Sure, the seed data that's coming out, it speeds up the process of trying to find, it identifies your ideal customer, the platform, the AI and everything like that. You could look at, where campaigns, a new campaign could take 3 to 4 months to spin up, just based off of what you're collecting through website data and stuff like that. You can cut down by probably a month or two by having that seed data. So it's not bad, like, it's definitely not saying, but it's definitely better for your company in general to have those emails.
And I've seen people get creative with it, giveaways,
Sure, yeah.
things like that. There is always an ethics thing to tread lightly on, but as long as you're not offering cash or.
Right.
I understand, it's okay.
A lot of gray areas.
It's gray.
Yeah.
It's
There's
good.
a lot of gray areas when you sometimes that stuff. But
Yeah,
there's a lot of.
so we won't recommend ever doing that, but.
And one of the, as far as like engaging content, you still have engaging content without having a person in. If you're doing a video or something that you present a product. Yeah, I've read things to where there's large majority of people rather watch a video with captions or with like word bars and stuff versus, you know, something that has actual speaking or words or, yeah.
Mhm.
So I was thinking, well, personally, like, I've been trying to push that we need to do more video content.
Mhm.
People that have great personalities for my camera aren't familiar with the products. And people that know the products are either don't want to be on camera or you really dare put them on camera. You know, so as far as like showing, recording, showing features, putting captions or, you know, try to gauge that way to where you're showing the product, or trying to engage with the features without having to have a personality.
Mhm. It kind of depends on your platform is, I guess, the first thing I'd say, but a big one that I see that wouldn't surprise me in your thinking of that is Facebook. As you're scrolling, there's no audio, you'll notice. So it, depending on the platform, yes, that might be the better option for you. But Billy, did you have something to add?
Well, I mean, so I listen to a lot. And they keep a lot of, they keep the thumb on it all. And they say that we've seen a lot in the text space, now we're seeing a lot in the image space. For AI 2024 in the creative space, it's gonna be video. So for what you're talking about, I think that you're gonna be able to start seeing, as weird as it sounds, if you're really like, I think they're elf videos or whatever, where you'd be able to take a picture, yeah, like you're gonna be able to take a picture of whoever you want to,
Right.
and you're gonna be able to record their audio.
Yeah,
And so it's kind of like, so you can do the, like, I think what you're talking about though is, do you need a face to something? I think you're gonna be able to get away with not doing that and being able to work with AI to make it more engaging. To get those thumbs up videos, to get those engaging videos without having to spend like a lot of stuff. Like you're gonna be able to pay up one price for a camera type program to be able to create those, because whereas video is always great, sometimes, or faces are always great, sometimes it's always not helpful. That makes sense.
Sure.
Especially because I feel like what you do, it's hard to really show that, do that, so. Faces are always gonna win out, I think, but I think you're gonna be able to get away with it, and you're gonna be able to use AI to be able to really fine tune it, so you can.
well, yeah, what, like the years, you're able to create AI avatars.
Oh, I would say, obviously.
You give the transcript and then it's,
And,
yeah.
and then
There's-
in Spanish too,
Yeah.
yeah.
When we're showing right now, the AI, those little avatars that you can create, like whatever, those I would imagine by beginning of second quarter of next year, you'll be able to use those as, like, you'll be able to tell it what to do, and like, you want to do this type of video, and it'll go off and do it, you can create a little video with fun videos or Facebook, like, because they're really investing in the video ad space, so. Yes.
Makes sense.
And if you want to, we can absolutely. Platform does allow us to advertise to those AI metaverses too. We do know that. We've never done it, so if anyone wants to try it out.
Yeah, other exciting things, Billy? In-home digital ads was a cool
I mean, I
one.
think that's good. I think our platform's really getting into those, like billboards or backup car stuff, like that, gas pumps,
Yeah.
like we can do all that type of stuff through it. That's, I mean, I think you get a lot of the stuff, and I think the big thing is gonna be, AI is gonna be the huge question over the next 6 months even, of like where it takes in general and everything. You know, you talked a little bit about the TikTok marketplace right now, and that's going up in general. So there's, I mean, e-commerce, obviously, we don't deal with a lot with that in our company. That's not really what we target outside of like some big manufacturing stuff like you guys. But we don't have, you know, I would love to do that more, but we just don't have the. So there's a lot of that type of stuff that I think is coming up, but. Nothing that I can do outside of what you talked about.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how TikTok Shop changes. It's almost become the new Amazon drop ship
Right.
place.
So they're great, I mean.
So, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. But yeah, lot of questions about the next year. lots of predictions, but there's also so much unknown. That Google doesn't provide us a whole lot of heads up with things. We have beef with Google right now, if you can't tell. We're mad at Google. Hopefully they didn't hear that.
Did you have lunch in your booth?
Yeah.
That's gonna throw a monkey wrench into things.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, talk about like inventory space, just certain things, it's.
So,
It's huge.
but I listen to a lot of things, and we're gonna go into the conversational point, we'll get past that. We'll say your presentation.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because we need to go. But the whole Twitter, you talked a little about Twitter X and threads and all that. My personal opinion is X is on a very fine line, and a lot of it has to do with how Musk handled things. But with the election you're in, regardless of what political field you're on, Musk has a very definite way that he does things. And with everything that he's been doing in the media with the paid advertising, I think Disney pulls all their advertising out. I don't know if you guys seen any of that, but he basically told Bobby here to go find somewhere to go. And with that line and with the political stuff coming up, if he goes one way, Twitter could be, or X could be done, like completely cut out. And Threads is really starting to take off, and they haven't introduced advertising yet. But I would imagine we'll see advertising within the next 4 to 5 months that will really start to come off. At least for big brands, maybe not for us. You know, we could probably get it if we could guarantee we can spend hundreds of impressions. But I would say that Threads is very much in the line of taking over Twitter, depending. But Musk could get pushed out from the board. And if that happens, then we could see X retake everything. So there's a very fine line right now with all that.
It'll be interesting.
Interesting. But, yeah. So, yeah, Elon Musk is very much a guy that he tried to get in the news for everything. The name was that, he didn't want to buy it, build it, whatever. Well, but he
trying to build like this wallet, PayPal.
Bill is trying to do that, but my guess is he's trying to push out, he's trying to get out from underneath of it, because he owns like the advertising side of it, like, we literally were trying to get we were doing advertising for a company, and they changed up everything. They were doing great on Twitter. Did this, it basically take everything and shut us off, like we couldn't be verified, we were willing to pay them the amount to get verified.
Yep.
They sent it back to us and said it didn't get verified. And I was like, okay, and he can't pay the loans off of the ad revenue alone for the next like 4 or 5 years before it's happening. It's just a crazy story, or just crazy what's going on with it, but.
Well, I appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody, it was fun.
Thursday of every month, we'll have a meeting going, so